Hello. So, the lunar eclipse. I was looking at what people have been searching about lately, and it comes out that this has been something that many people have been looking at. So, honestly, I decided to make a video connected to this to see how many views I'll get. But it's not just that. What's more interesting is why this is interesting. And I'm going to relate this to scarcity. I don't even know if this is written that way, but does it really matter? What I'm thinking and what I want to share with you is, do you see how this appears to be interesting to people? Very interesting. And what it is? It's the moon not present on the sky. Well, let's look into this. Imagine the night sky on Earth normally without a moon. Let's say every night without a moon. And then imagine the night sky with a beautiful moon all the time. Or imagine it with a full moon. If you can choose, which one are you going to choose? All the time, okay? Probably not the dark sky, right? You might like this or the full moon. If it's going to be all the time, most likely you're going to choose this. But anyway, almost nobody will be interested in seeing a dark sky without a moon. So why the lunar eclipse seems to be so interesting to people? Exactly. Because it's rare. It does not happen every so often. So when it does, it's interesting. Now let's see how this translates in our lives, in our day-to-day reality. Have you ever wanted to be liked by people more? Or to find love if you haven't, well? Or to be able to sell something better? How do you do it? You apply the lunar eclipse to whatever you want to be more interesting. You apply it being rare. Let's look at a few examples. There can be a lot of examples, but I'm just going to give a few of them. Let's say you like a girl. If you call her all the time, if you seek her all the time, if you give her your attention, give her presents, gifts, if you are willing to do everything for her, I'm not saying you should not be willing to help a girl or that you should be bad with her, not at all. But if you're willing to do this all the time, what are we having? Something that happens all the time, and it's not rare. So it will not be searched for in the same way as lunar eclipse has been searched some 50,000 times in the last week. 50,000 for a dark sky. Because it's rare. Okay, apply this with this girl. Become rare. This means don't call her every day, call her every once in a few days. Don't give her your attention all the time. Do it every once in a while. Don't answer all of her calls. Be busy sometimes and call her later, like 2 hours later, or maybe even on the next day. Become rare. And of course, if she does not like you at all, this will not help. But if you are interesting, like a lunar eclipse is interesting by itself, but if it happens every day, nobody will be interested anymore. So if you are interesting, you have good chance, but you only need to be also rare. This also applies to selling stock. Like if there is a lot of something, it goes cheap. But if there is scarcity, if it's rare, the price goes up, like gold or diamonds. Of course they're beautiful, but so many other metals are also beautiful, like the gold is, but they are not as rare, so they are not as expensive. It's the same for glass or crystal or things like that. They might be very beautiful, but they are not rare. Diamonds are, so diamonds are more expensive, and people search for them more, as they do for the lunar eclipse. So if you want to sell something, make it scarce. There are different ways of implying this, but we're not going to talk about it right now. Let's come back here to this example and also derive a formula how you can be more successful in everything that you want to present to others. If that's you, if you want to present yourself, or if you want to present a product or a presentation of any kind, anything. So first it has to be genuinely interesting. I don't know if I pronounced this right, but it has to be interesting. If it's not, even if it's scarce, nobody will really care. Well, there is some chance people will still search for anything that's scarce, but most of the time not. So it has to be interesting, but then also it has to be rare. Combine those two things and you have a winning formula. Thank you.